I bet we couldn't find it
yeah.
if we tried.
Let's find a real one with real problems.
Yeah. I want to judge someone.
Go
I
ahead,
make
you search
fun of
away.
them.
Find what you find.
All right.
What was I gonna say? I had something lined up. Oh, God, I don't know if this is the kind of topic that PKA's. I've had an interest lately, personally, over this automation thing. I think I argued with Wings a long time ago. He had just seen that CPG Gray video. It's 15 minutes long, so we can't
Right.
play it here. About how automation, humans need not apply, is what it's called. If you've never seen it, it's pretty interesting. And basically, he argues that this time technological advancement is different. So throughout all of history, my example was you got 15 guys with spears catching fish, and then somebody invents the net, and now 14 people are out of work. No, not necessarily. Then they just go to building huts and whatever and go into the next part of society. That's like a core tenet of economics that we learned in college, and it's always been true. But and CPG Gray knows this. He knows that throughout human history, every time technology has displaced someone, while on the individual level it might be bad for that person, on a society level it's always been an improvement. Our standard of living keeps rising. The whole global standard of living keeps rising. Anyway, his argument is this time it's different. This time technology will replace people, and there is no next level. They're just
Literally
going to go out
30% of the workforce, something like that. Like transportation is the biggest sector, and that's where it's going to be. And the argument furthers into where are they going to go?
Wait,
creative jobs is an example. You go ahead.
Yeah. No, so I just didn't like the way you phrased it. The driving, which is a third of apparently jobs out there, is one of the first things on the firing range to get. I'm sure I phrased that wrong, but he's like, there's no place for rescue. Computers will do creative work. Computers will do medical work. Computers will do all kinds of other stuff. A lot of it exists now. They have these robots that, previous robots would exist, say, on a General Motors assembly line, had a very specific job, right? Like, take this chassis, put it on a thing, attach it with 8 bolts, and then slide it down. Now, robots are generalists, and they're doing much broader tasks, and you can train them to do, a wide array of things, whereas before they were so specific it didn't make sense. This Chinese factory in Pyongyang, I think I pronounced that right. No, fuck. I don't know where I got Pyongyang. Anyway, they replaced 90% of their humans with robots, which was interesting. It kind of means that, it doesn't matter how cheap your labor is, it's still difficult to compete with robots. And they've seen a surge in production because the robots can work better than humans can, and fewer defects. And I sit here and find myself in an advisory position, somewhat on YouTube, self-appointed, but also as a parent. And it's like, how the fuck do you deal with the automation that's coming to this planet? I was watching a video today. So tractors on farms, which is one of the many driving jobs, right? 30% of the economy. Tractors on farms, while they're GPS guided, they always have humans sitting in them, just monitoring all the equipment and stuff. This, as far as I know, was the first tractor that operated without a guy in it. And it was a combine. So the tractor would tow this big trailer, not a flat one though, one that would hold grain. And it just sort of followed him like it was supposed to do, and he would pour the grain into it. And so there it is, first job displaced. And I feel like I see evidence of this all over the place. I'm either seeing driving jobs that I know are going away, or manufacturing jobs the manufacturing, right? So Trump is running on this thing saying that he'll bring manufacturing jobs back to America. But a lot of people are like, do believe that. It's not even a matter of bringing them back to America, having them come from China to the U.S. The jobs are gone. They don't exist anymore. Robots are sewing your clothes. Robots are putting your things together. If you used to build mufflers outside Detroit, now mufflers are built automatically, and that job is not returning. I'm starting to buy into, I don't know if it's completely true, but this time it's different as a thing. And it's what do you tell people? One nice thing to do would be to make that quantum leap into ultimate wealth where it's not a problem for you. That would sound fantastic. I don't know how to make that quantum leap. That's really pretty fucking impressive.
Occupational therapy, audiologists, oral surgeons, healthcare social workers, mental health social workers. These are kind of things
that can't be outsourced or replaced, right? Plumbers, electricians, carpenters. Well, I don't know about carpenters, but yeah, a lot of these jobs will always exist in human form.
Not for a long time. Think about that. I mean, like, truck A to B, program it. Like, we already have self-driving cars. That's easy. But, like, I don't know how you do. I feel like we're still, like, 20 years away from a carpenter robot that can, like, all right, we're going to rip up your floors, do it all. He's going to track around and stuff. Like, we're 20, 25 years away from that kind of robot.
Long way away from that. No.
That's just too high. That's not something that's just
every
automated.
Living room's different. Yeah, it's
I don't think you're not going to have that kind of robot without some artificial intelligence, and everybody seems to be trying to put the kibosh on that.
But here's the problem with those jobs: it affects it on such a big scale. Okay, so if let's use 30% of the workforce is now automated. Well, those people now have to find a job or don't have money. They don't have a home or can't buy a home, which then affects the jobs that are still obtainable, like carpentry and these trade skills. If people don't have homes or there's not enough demand, then those, fighting for even those jobs is even harder now,
That's where the quantum leap is. Like, if you're the guy that has the money, suddenly you're going to be surrounded by a nation of impoverished people, which... Right. There's your servant pool. It's going to be very nice for just you. The difference between, like, the class gap is going to spread. And, if you're at the bottom, you get smushed like a grape. If you're on top, you don't. If you're in the middle, good luck. I don't know where you're falling on this thing. But it seems like a major, I think, problem. It changed for sure. And I saw this. I saw this.
Far ways off. Go on.
Is it?
Well, I mean, it'll probably happen in my lifetime, but to automate every transportation job, I still think.
Well, now you set the bar too high. All right, if in 10 years transportation jobs start disappearing, and I think sooner than that, I think it's already starting right now, right? Because some of those transportation jobs, we all look at long haul trucking, that's a thing, but transportation jobs like factory forklift operator. Already disappearing. Some of that stuff is being automated. There are robots that sit waist high, moving things from one spot in a factory or one spot in a warehouse to another with, you see the lines painted on the ground. Like, that's a thing that humans used to do that is now being replaced by robots. It's a transportation job, a short one in a controlled environment, but that's where it starts. It's...
But I don't think it's a problem until you've gotten through most of those jobs. Like you said, those jobs are already, for the most part, replaced. You've got your small, medium trucks, like UPS, those kind of carrier services and whatnot. You got your long haul trucking, various other transportations of hauling and stuff like that. And you've still got small warehouses and stuff that aren't automating it, that don't have the benefit of like Amazon and a lot of these places. I think when you start replacing more, then it is a problem. But
the long haul stuff seems like I can imagine long haul trucking being replaced. Like, it won't happen, but this year I bet we have the technology right now, especially if you remove the city part, right? If I'm bringing goods from LA to New York, great, get out of the city, get on the highway, hook up the automated trailer, and then somebody greets it in outside New York, hooks up to a man, and he takes it the last mile.
Well, yeah, we've had self-driving cars for, I feel like, since 2007 or 8. That's Google's had that for a while now, and those still aren't in. There's another industry of transportation to, taxis, Uber, Lyft, those type of things that are going to get outsourced, and people just maybe picking those over owning a car. Period. Like in the city, in big metropolitan cities, you wouldn't own a car. That's going to affect car sales and stuff like that because they already take taxis. How cheap is it to not have to pay an employee but rent a fucking Google taxi service now? Google will undercut the taxi market, and it's safer than a taxi cab driver.
It's.
But I think we're still a while out there. I think it'll start to happen in my lifetime. But I feel like when you look at how many on-the-road vehicles that are autonomous now to that level of unemploying people, it's just not there. We have self-driving cars. They go 30 miles or whatever.
Not now, but you say in your lifetime. I think in my lifetime, I think it'll happen while I'm still working, right? And that's not that long. It's Yeah. Anyway, huge changes in the economy and the world with a quantum leap in robots and computing, and I feel like the whole world is just sort of not managing their career around this sea change.
Well, a lot can happen in 30 years, too. For all we know, we've got a maglev train that goes throughout the entire United States, and we don't even need on-the-road vehicles. I mean, so much can happen in 30 years. It's hard to really guess if this is the crux of where
you and your train dreams that will never be realized.
Those are just a fast as shit. Way faster than cars.
Yeah.
And I stand by my cars will be banned in 100 years. I
They're not
won't
gonna
live
be banned.
there to see it, but who knows? I might. Once again, a lot can happen in 30 years. If Google steps
All right, so I found a few assholes.
Okay.
Few? Did you make
Potential
judgment calls
assholes.
already? Okay, that's what I like to hear then.
All right.
So would someone like
Jesus.
to read it? It's normally me as the reader. Would you like to take it away, Taylor?
I can do that. All right.
Oh,
we'll
well,
go to the
fuck it up.
first link.
Why
Or I
do you
guess
think
don't
he's
go to that
illiterate?
link.
I just saying, a lot of pressure on the man right now. He's never done this before. First time in the hot seat.
All right.
I've never read on the show before.
You've never read an
You
Am I an Asshole before, all right? It's a different skill set.
All right.
You can't mix your own agenda in there, leading towards, oh, this guy's an asshole while you're reading it. Be unbiased.
All right. Am I the asshole because this woman's daughter pissed on her? I was at the movie theater and needed to use the restroom. I went into the family restroom since I feel more comfortable using it than the women's or men's restroom, and I was in there for 5 minutes tops. When I came out, there's a woman standing at the door, calling me an asshole for using the family room when I don't have any kids. Apparently, her toddler daughter wasn't well potty trained and had a few-minute window of time to use the toilet, and ended up peeing through her mom's shirt because I was in there. I walked off, but then after using the bathroom, she found me in the concessions line and decided to call me an ass again. I told her it was her own decision that led to this and not mine, and she told me, fuck you, and walked off. Am I the asshole for using the family restroom?
Well,
yes.
I'll answer this real quick. Yes, but I too would be doing that, so I'm an asshole.
No. No.
Do you
don't
use the handicap stall ever? Those are for handicap people.
I have my own demons. I mean,
That's such a great answer.
We all have our cross to bear, but
Yeah.
I think the crux of this is that some.
oh, your
the-
spine's not connected.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
The
I have
biggest
problems
thing-
too. I have bad days.
That's true.
I don't have bad
Yeah,
legs. I have bad moods sometimes, and I think that's
I just have a wide stance, and I don't want anyone thinking I'm gay, all right? I'm not a closet homosexual.
First of all,
I'm a dirty ethnic.
Is this guy said, I saw 2 red flags. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but he said it was 5 minutes tops, which you wouldn't include the word tops unless you were trying to make it seem like less than it was. Either you went in there and you selfishly took the longest piss in history, or you went in there and took a shit that you are wildly underestimating the length of. Because it's 2015 and you had your phone out, you stupid fuck. Also, the family restroom isn't there for you to feel more comfortable as you take a shit, you pansy. You need to be pandered to at every juncture of your life. You can't just go shit in the women's or men's room. Why did he or she feel the need to go in there? Like, it's not for you to have your own little private time. It's for moms and dads to not get peed on by their kids who have to go. And I'm sure Woody understands it.
Okay, yeah, I'm
total.
thinking about it now. When I first heard this, I thought the family restroom was just a really big stall, but now that I've heard it again,
No, it's
it goes
there's
men's,
one door.
women's,
Yeah.
family.
It's
Yeah.
a private
yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah, I would not do that. No, and that guy's
Yeah.
so I already said that. Yeah.
I
All
will
right, so
say
that guy was definitely
totally
an
an asshole. The only I would pretty much never use a family restroom. I was gonna say that, when I use handicap stalls, if I like today I was at Chili's and I saw the handicap stall and I saw the smaller one, I picked the smaller one. There was one of each. But if there's multiple handicap stalls and none are taken, or if it's a work environment and I feel like I know everybody who uses this bathroom, I'll use the handicap stall in that situation too.
That's true. There's a few times that you can use the handicapped. Like if they're both open and they're both of comparable cleanliness, take the smaller one just in case, because you never know. If it looks like somebody dropped like Nagasaki in the small one, then I'm not about to jump in front of this bullet for this
if someone's
hypothetical
going to
team
judge
member.
you, is that if you never know someone's going to judge you for using the handicap stall? No, you use the handicap stall when it's open.
If I'm actually going to take a
'cause
shit in a public restroom,
There
Then
might be someone
there's-
who needs it.
I've never I'm gonna say this. Let me think. I don't think I've ever encountered a handicapped person in a bathroom.
I think you could say that about a
haven't
parking
either.
spot too.
Yeah, I don't think they go.
Yeah, but there's a fine with the parking spot.
That's your
fine?
disincentive? It's
Totally.
just the fine?
Totally.
Yeah.
Just
You
like
need
the
to poop
pregnant
police.
lady parking section, which they don't have those here. I've only seen those in Texas.
Well, we
But-
have them here. They tend to be in grocery stores, and I
Yeah.
think they're fabulous. I think they're
Yeah.
great. I was on the
Harder to prove than the handicapped one too.
if you're pregnant and no one can tell yet, then I don't begrudge you being excited about your potential baby, but I think you shouldn't be using it. But unless you're having like rough morning sickness or something. But if you're very pregnant, Jackie was pretty much handicapped at that point. She couldn't tie her own shoes. She was waddling. She was like, it was hard at the end of her pregnancy. And those like premier parking is warranted. So
Nah, man. Like,
Well,
if
I'm not a great
take-
person. I'll tell you right now that if there wasn't a fine with the handicap parking, there's just so many. I would totally park there and try to get away with it.
I do feel like whatever ratios the city sets or something is just off. You know, especially
Totally.
when you get a big parking lot. Like, you know, yeah. Like, I feel like you could go to my local Target and host the Special Olympics there because there's just spot after, like, as far as the eye can see. And that's not necessary.
Hey, is this coming back for anyone else?
I think that's the Paralympics
No.
you're thinking of.
You want to reset
Right?
the call, Woody?
Yeah, the Paralympics,
Wait.
Yeah.
not the Special
Here,
Olympics.
it's worked.
Yeah, you go to Walmart for that.
Oh, Kyle, you scamp. So everybody unanimously agreed that guy
Yes.
or girl was an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Not feeling. I can't get over. I don't feel comfortable in
Yeah.
the men's or the women's room.
That's just...
It's like, just go.
Well, that's
shit.
an interesting thing. Is this person a transsexual then? That would make
We
sense.
can't start just making assumptions.
Well, we also have
even-
to make
even
the assumption
so-
that shit or piss too.
Yeah. Even so, don't take the family restroom.
There's
Someone
no way they
might
peed
get
for
peed on,
5 minutes.
might have their evening
No.
next.
They dropped a bomb
Okay.
in that shit. You know, that place reeked. All right, carry on.
So second one, I'll let either Kyle, Chiz, or Woody, and be careful because these are rife with errors.
Oh, a little background to start. I live in an area where it's very common to not have your dog on a leash, especially so if said dog is well trained. My dog is not only well trained, but also very old. She's 15 and moves as fast as a turtle. So naturally, I don't want nor need to put her on a leash. Now, I was walking my old slow dog down the street when we began approaching another person with a dog not on a leash as well. This dog was a Doberman, about twice as big as my retriever. And as we were walking, the Doberman begins barking and running at me and my dog, its owner having no control over it. At this point, I begin getting concerned. As the dog gets closer, he does not slow and jumps on my dog. My dog, in response, begins stumbling away down the nearest driveway, obviously hurt, and yet the Doberman continues his assault. Eventually, the lady who owned the Doberman strolled into the scene. As she opens her mouth, I expect some sort of an apology, but all she said is, you should probably get a leash for your dog, in an extremely bitchy tone. At that time, I was appalled because neither dog was on a leash, and it seemed completely her fault. So I just kind of left without saying anything. However, I looked back on the situation a few days later and realized if I could have been avoided if I had had my dog on a leash. Only the lady did have a leash with her, and my dog did bark at the other dog when he began barking at her. I really don't know who's to blame. You're both assholes. You put a leash on your dog for reasons like this. It's just, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're an asshole.
And this person's also a liar. He said that his dog is 15 and half the size of a young Doberman. And he phrases it as like, the Doberman jumped on it, and then it dragged it away, and the assault continued. Where it's like, no, if that Doberman was assaulting, mauling your dog, and it's 15, it's dead in 15 seconds. Like, Dobermans, they're vicious dogs. They're animals at the end of the day. Like, it would beat the shit, kill that dog quick. Like, and I refuse to believe that this other lady walked up and just nonchalantly said, you should put a leash on your dog if there was doggy blood all over the goddamn place. And her dog just like with a, blood beard around it. But Yeah, they're both wrong. 100%.
Yep, dogs on leashes.
No.
Otherwise,
Is Chiz even in here anymore?
What are you talking about?
Your video's not coming.
Oh, sorry.
through.
All the video went down for me.
I don't have any of your videos.
I don't either.
Can you
just
call
restart
back?
This.
All right,
It's
let's do
not
that.
just
We'll
me,
restart
though.
it super quick. It is just stupid. Anyway.
All right.
Chiz is here.
There's Kyle.
Waiting on Taylor. Did you not click video, Taylor?
I'm here.
You didn't click video.
No, it's on.
It's behaving as if you didn't click video.
It's behaving.
I'll click it
You
off
didn't click
and on
video.
again.
That worked.
you need to do the
Okay.
same, Woody.
We can't see you, Woody.
Actually, I think it was my fault
Fixed.
all along. I think I did an audio call. I don't
And
know.
we're back.
We're
All
back.
right.
Yep.
Also-
They're both
Let's go to the,
assholes.
so both
This
of
was
them
a
are
boring
assholes. Let's go to the third one.
Yeah. I would
Oh,
have preferred someone I could judge better.
who's reading? There's both Chiz and I available.
I'll do it.
Either one.
This
But
is a
whoever
short
doesn't
one.
read should go find their own that's good. We can
My
wrap.
I'll read.
my friend, let's call him Jack. I know a lot of Jacks. Wanted me to help make a sketch video. I was up for this until he told me the sketch. I hated the sketch. I thought it was unfunny and just plain awful. So I told him no. I'm not being part of this. Then we got into an argument and I left. Am I the asshole? This was one of your picks, Taylor?
I went for one that didn't have sex involved in it because it's damn near impossible
This
on
is
that.
2 days
Every
old
sing-
with 2 upvotes on it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not as versed in the Reddit sphere as you. I just clicked it and it wasn't about sex, so I picked it. You pick a better one. Find one that's not about like, so I was with my best friend's ex-girlfriend and we fucked, but we were both drunk. Am I an asshole? Like, every one of them is that. And every one of them
it
says
is hard
asshole.
to find a legit one where it's like, well, where's the needle? It's like you
I got
just
one.
want more reinforcement.
So here, I like the title of this one. I'm just going to go in without knowing. So last night, I'm going through a drive-through for Cookout, which is an amazing restaurant, at like 2 in the morning, and this guy walks up and asks if I can help jump his car. That's just down the road where his wife is waiting. Sure, if you've got jumper cables, I say. He does, and I let him hop in the passenger seat while I finish going through the drive-through. This sounds very
Whoa.
dangerous. I ask if he smokes, and I hand him a cigarette when he says he does. He has told me his car is right. He's told me his car is right down the road, but as soon as we get down the said road, he tells me to turn down a different one. He then asks if I have a gas can. No. Why do we need a gas can? I thought you needed a jump. He then proceeds to tell me that the tow truck around the corner has a gas can, and that's what he really needs because he ran out of gas. At this point, I am thinking, what the fuck, man? Why would you lie about this shit? We're going we are going a different direction for a different thing you claim to need. So I very nonchalantly said, if you screw me over, I'll kill you. Because fuck it, man. People have died or been robbed doing nice things for other people before, and this is not going smoothly like it ought to. For some background, I have a giant-ass beard, and I don't appear super nice in the first place, though I am a nice guy in there somewhere. Needless to say, he just says, this is good, got out of my truck, and walked the opposite way he said he needed to go. Let's see. So either I saved my life or I'm an incredible asshole. I have no regrets, but judge me anyway.
Now, I feel like
Not
this
an
is an
asshole.
easy call again,
I
but I,
got
love the
mixed
story.
up in it. Can you tell? How did he just spot that this was going wrong?
Okay, so he picks the guy up at the restaurant. The guy says that his wife is at his car. They need a jump start. It's just down the road. So they head down the road that the car is supposed to be on, and he tells him to turn down an additional road. And then he says, hey, that gas can over, that's what I really need. I need some gas. And so he's like, well, wait a minute. You said, jump start. Now you need gas? This doesn't make any sense. And so then he just kind of calls the guy out on the weirdness
He gave
of the
him an
situation.
ultimatum.
Huh.
He was like, look, if you screw me over, I'm going to kill you. Like, people have died helping people like I'm helping you right now, and this isn't going very smoothly.
I love this guy.
And then he got out and then walked the opposite way of where they were going.
I like this guy.
By the
a
way, this
lot.
guy, I like this guy. I think that's cool, but super fucking weird that he picked this dude up before and then went through the drive-through with him. Gave him this guy is really nice.
I guess it makes sense. I could see myself doing something like that.
I think I
I
could
could
see myself
absolutely
doing
not.
that.
No, I would tell
just.
him to fuck off.
I
if he went to
sometimes think
drive-through.
This guy is, who I think I am anyway. Maybe not big and scary, but like I do nice things for people. On the other hand, like I was doing my day in the life, I editing it today, and I'm like, someone could come rob me. But the truth of the matter is someone went to that stable and tried to take something, they could die. Like, no fucking joke. That they'll probably kill him.
Well, what if they had a gun on you?
They would need it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you're in the stable, you're not near a gun.
They would need it.
Yeah. That's how it would go down.
If it was anything less than that, I agree with you 100%. But if a gun was pulled on you and you weren't near your carry, then
Oh no, we heard voices
I understand
one
cheers,
time,
though.
and I'm out there with the shotgun. Deadliest thing I got. Let's go.
Yeah, there's no way I would pick up someone like that, take them through the drive-through with
Who the
me,
fuck? No.
and then
One, I'm
offer
not
like. But
picking up anyone. Period. So.
yeah, well, I mean, in the Democratic People's Republic of California, you'd have no line of defense. You'd have to read them your rights. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this
just
guy's
foolish.
he's not an
This guy's
asshole.
not
He's
an
a
asshole.
hero.
He's actually pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
guy.
I have a.
Yeah, I agree.
I have one.
Can I tell a quick thing? Because
Yes.
this sounded eerily like a story my dad told me from his youth. So basically, he was driving from town toward his house after a day of work, and he stops and picks this guy up who says he wants a ride home, and it's along the way. And Dad says, "Okay, I'll drop you off. That's on my way." And so they're driving down the road, and they've been going for a while. This guy's wasted in the passenger seat, and then he changes his mind. He says, "No. I want to go back to town." And my dad's like, "No, I don't have gasoline for that. I can't go back to town. You said we're going this way. We're going this way." He's like, "No, you turn this fucking car around. Take me back to town." And so dad was going pretty slow. They just had pulled out of a stop sign. So he reaches over and fish hooks him and like pulls him over and punches him, dazes him good enough that he can then open the door and just kick him out the side of the car while it's rolling along like 5 miles an hour, and just left him there on the side of the road.
Go Dad. Not an asshole.
Not an asshole.
No, not an asshole.
No.
Fish hook, very risky maneuver. That's right.
with a drunk person. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, why not lead with the punch if he's drunk?
Yeah, why not lead with the punch instead of the
He's right
hepatitis
there.
claw?
So-
Well, I
You know
think
what
he's
I've got-
driving the car, and he needed to get him over here so he could start working on him.
Chael Sonnen talks about this.
Elbow.
He's like, when you look at any fighting style, find the stuff that's illegal, and that's the good shit, right? So in the UFC, fish hooks are illegal. They're just it's too easy to control your opponent's head. It's too easy to injure the guy. It's too easy to make what you want to happen with that fish hook. It's too effective, so they banned it. And so he's a wrestler. And he's like, so when I went from wrestling to MMA, I went straight to all the stuff you can't do in wrestling. Like all the moves that are illegal and not good. That's the shit that I went to perfect on so that he could be successful in his MMA career. Fish hooking's illegal in the UFC. So, I mean, I'm not an expert on fish hooking or anything, but my first thought is, that's good. Fish hooking, punches to the balls, eye gouges, like these are the go-to.
But no one's possibly biting their opponent's fingers off in the UFC. That's the risk. This is a stranger in his car, and this guy
Dad's
just
fingers
fish hooked
really-
him. He might
His
bite your
fingers
fingers
really
off.
are big. Like his are twice as big as mine. Like
Well,
I
like
swear.
the other
they're-
said, this is some
they're still
dirty drunk
fingers.
guy. They're fingers.
There was a 48-inch fan blade that hit his finger one time full speed, and it just cut the skin off. It stopped at the bone. It was shot. I swear to God, it would have cut my finger off. It would have just lopped it off. It didn't make, because like I've thrown chickens into those fans, and it just chops them the fuck up. And it's just like, how did he make it out of there? But in any case, I'll ask him tomorrow when I see
Throwing
him.
chickens into those fans.
You're just
Yeah.
gonna
Go ahead and
glaze
put
over
that
that.
one and a tally in the asshole column. Yeah. Right next to the I blew up a chicken once, and we totally didn't talk about that at all. Apparently, chickens, you can do whatever the fuck you want to them.
They're delicious.
Well, you can't.
If Colonel Sanders is at the pearly gates, he's going to be like, Kyle, you come here with me.
Style point, my friend. Yeah. The thing you did with that rotating exhaust fan. Oh, beautiful. Massacre.
All right,
playing
I
in
have
front.
one. It's only a title, so pay close attention. Am I the asshole for meeting a few friends at a bagel shop to find out that they were a couple people ahead of me in line and moving up to join them?
Yes.
No.
Yes, the proper
I hate
way
that.
to do that. Here's the right way to do that. You text or you tell the person somehow so that the rest of the line doesn't know. Like, hey, could you get me like a blueberry scone and a venti latte with soy? Like, just give them your order, let them get it for you. But you can't physically walk up there. That's the way to do that. So yeah, you're an asshole. You can't cut line. I don't like people cutting line. I get really infuriated with line cutters. It seems like such a disrespectful thing to do to some. It's saying like, not only do I have
I would never do it.
Not only am I going to disregard like common courtesy and like the way shit works. Like, we've all been standing in line since the time we were like infants. Like from the beginning of time, from childhood, we've been in lines. And everybody knows you don't cut in line. So when someone cuts in line, and I'm an adult, I don't take that well at all.
I'm excited that there's disagreement here, because this is the first time ever, I think, there hasn't been a clear-cut case. And my answer is gray. Like, with him, I think he might be an asshole because he's joining his friends. But if it's a family reuniting, like maybe like I'm there with Colin and Jackie comes to join us, I'm okay.
That's okay. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, right?
If you're in a group together and like one member just wasn't present, that's different.
He says meeting a few friends.
Friends is different than a nuclear family.
He met them and they were in a good, and they had been standing in a line when he got there.
Meeting a few friends at a bagel shop. In my opinion, they had coordinated. Hey, let's meet at the bagel shop.
Yeah, but
let me ask you this one. I'll ask this
tough.
hypothetical. This is a different one then. Say GameStop, I would wait in line for midnight releases for certain games. Right. Say it's me and a friend or whatever. We get there, we get our places, and the other friend wants to fuck off or whatever for the entire duration, and I wait and hold our places in line, and then the doors open. He comes back in the spot that I've been there holding the whole time. Is he an asshole?
That's a third scenario. That's a third scenario that's different than this. I think what you got to focus on here is that.
So how do you differentiate the two? How do you know that he could say, I'm saving this, my friend's been here, he'll be here any minute now, as they're in line at the bagel shop.
You can't do that. So Woody described a scenario where he's there with his family. They're a pod, they're a group, they're a family. The reason that they were separated is because half of them went to one bathroom, half of them went to the other, and some of them came out at a different time. That's why when they're
came in two cars, separation happened.
Yeah. Well,
if they came in two cars, that's the same thing as the friends thing. You're meeting at a central location.
If you arrive at different times, and one person has been waiting in line previous to the other person even arriving at the location, there's no way you can cut in front. There's no way. You can't be like, hey, sorry, I'm 5 minutes late. I'm just going to cut in front of these 6 people. These 6 people weren't 5 minutes late, and you're not part of his group, and he's not part of your group. You're just friends. So, like, if you're with your date, of course your date can join you in the line. If you're with your wife and kids, any of them can join you in the line. But if I'm at the mall in line for the movies and Woody's meeting me there, but Woody's 10 minutes late, then I'm just going to buy Woody's ticket when I get up there, because it's not going to work for Woody to like cut in line in front of all these people and hop up there with me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Not at Starbucks, because that's a whole thing.
At a Starbucks or a bagel shop, like, I can't. Maybe I'm a softy, but I can't think of a situation where I would keep a family apart, where I'd be like, I'm sorry, Mom, you're going to have to get to the back of the line. You can't be with husband and child.
Off some cash to give to the kids who are behind her in line so they can pay for it or something.
Yeah, right. Like, I
do that.
I can't think of a situation in which I'd keep a family apart, whether it be bagel shop line or roller coaster or whatever. I'd let them join up. Friends, like you said, I'm lined up with you there because... like, did you just keep separate? Meet after. You could share a table, obviously, but you can't butt in line for that.
Yeah,
no line cutters.
I think after hashing through that, we're all on the same page.
Yeah, totally.
Look at that.
I don't know. I don't know that Kyle was as pro family as me.
I'm 100%.
No, family.
He totally
said
fine. If they come in separate cars and then join up, that they keep the family apart. He said that.
He was talking about friends in that circumstance.
My mindset is also stuck on long events too.
If you and Colin show up to the movies, you're in line at the concessions, right? You're getting some popcorn, and let's say there's 5 people behind you. I don't think Jackie should be able to join up with you if she's going to be ordering separate things on separate tickets. That's another thing. If the tickets aren't combined, that's a thing. If it's separate orders, you definitely can't pass ever under any scenario.
I let the families unite in almost every scenario, and make it a roller coaster. Let's say I'm 30 minutes in line, right? It's a Whopper.
The white families I will let. Yeah.
Sorry, Chiz.
Well, they've only got 1 or 2 kids, right? They don't have 6
exactly.
Or 8
That's I mean. A Latino family comes in there. They're not. No. You all back up, everybody. No. No.
Yeah,
No room for a soccer team.
Chiz has 6 children already. He doesn't know where they are. Who
Who cares? They're
Well, then that means they won't be in line with them. It's fine. Yeah.
I'm stuck on the big lines though. That's from my. I don't think you should cut in small shit because the fucking process is so quick. Does it really matter if? I don't think you should be upset or give a shit either way. The line is gonna be quick.
No,
I'm
fuck
thinking
that.
of like
Gas
I'm waiting for a
station line?
concert or stuff.
You cut in line with me at a gas station, I'll make a scene.
Yeah.
I'll say, "Excuse me," and I'll say it loud enough so that everybody hears it, so that everybody then looks at you. Like I'll make a fucking scene. You cut in line. I don't like.
But if
that.
they're on the same ticket, what's it matter? Going back to your statement earlier about the 2 separate tickets.
2 separate tickets means they got to
Right,
run.
I get that. But if they're on the same ticket, what's it matter if they cut in line? The process is the same length.
I'm not going to go
No,
through
because
whole,
then so and so comes up. Initial guy's like, "Oh, I'll have a black coffee and a bagel." Next person scoots in, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna have that frappa cappuccino, and I'm gonna have the barbecue flatbread pizza." And then suddenly there's 2 employees doing things that wouldn't otherwise be doing them and able to get you your stuff to you faster. Unless it's like a family. But like imagine like a group of like 17-year-olds, and
you
like
wanna be in line-
another 17-year-old walks up and joins in. That's shitty. But if it's like a little kid walking up, or a wife to a husband and a family, that's like, how can you not see the difference?
if you want
I don't
to
care.
if you want to be in line with your family and friends, then just get there on fucking time. And hey, here's an idea. Maybe the person who's ahead in line just steps their ass back there. where they
That's a
belong.
thing
That's
that
what I
I've done
always do.
before. Yeah. Like we want to reunite. Like just let the 3 people in front of you and go with your friend or something like that. That works.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't care.